Okay, we've tested a lot of password managers this past year, and now I've taken the most popular ones and ranked them in a best password manager tier list. It's a trust-first approach, so I didn't just focus on shiny extras or marketing. Instead, I've analyzed each company's history, security, features, and affordability. And you might be surprised where some land. So it's simple. The top providers are the ones we recommend, and anything at the bottom, in our opinion, is a waste of your time. I'm also going to mix things up today and go in a totally random order, starting with our first F-tier provider, Google Password Manager. Why F? Well, while some might consider this the best password manager for Android and Chrome simply because of its convenience, in reality, it's really limited. And not just because it lacks cross-platform compatibility. To say its feature set is minimal would be an understatement. You won't find vault customizations, note storage, or any advanced features to further protect your data or privacy. Worst of all, it isn't zero knowledge. So unlike competitors, your passwords aren't for your eyes only. Besides, if your Google account is taken over, all passwords can easily be accessed. That is, if your info isn't in some leak already. Now, on a more positive note, let's look at our first top password manager, NordPass. This sits confidently on the S tier for many reasons, but the most unmistakable is its trustworthiness. NordPass has done everything it can to ensure users' data is kept safe, from its zero-knowledge architecture to one of the most modern encryption ciphers available. Plus, it's never been breached. But what's special here is that it isn't just about security. It's one of the best password managers for Windows and Mac users alike. With polished, beginner-friendly apps, password management is seamless, and there are practical safety tools that make sure your data isn't compromised and passwords are strong. You can even create fake online aliases to protect your identity. And NordPass manages to do all of that while still having an affordable price. So if you decide to invest today, I have links that can save you some money, so be sure to scan this code or check the description. Now, the B tier is where you'll find Dashlane, and that is because while it's a usable product, its extension-first approach makes it less flexible. It's fine for managing passwords directly from the browser, and its security is decent with real-time phishing alerts and a new AI-powered scam protection feature that helps keep your browsing safe from danger. But aside from the lack of a desktop app, it's quite expensive. In some cases, a subscription costs 3 times more than some competitors. And only 1 GB of encrypted storage for documents and notes won't get you very far. My next top password manager is Keeper, and this one goes into A tier mainly because it's such a hands-on option. With useful developer tools, this password manager offers serious customization for anyone who's got a bit of experience. And while it's closed source at its core, it does have open source components. Additionally, its architecture is zero knowledge, and its encryption is virtually unhackable. Plus, it also comes with unique security features like self-destruct, which deletes locally stored information from your device after multiple failed login attempts. That way, your data is safe even if your device is stolen. And with such an affordable personal plan, I nearly put it higher on my list. That was until I noticed they charge extra for some standard features. Now, just like its name, it's last on my list and it'll be a hard pass from me. Yep, LastPass. It had a good thing going for a while there. That was until it had multiple security incidents. It then lost any shred of user trust it had left because it just couldn't stop lying. It downplayed breaches, then lied about user data being affected altogether. To be honest, there isn't much more to say here, other than it'd be safer to write your passwords on sticky notes and let a cat dispense them around the house. Alright, moving on. The next provider, RoboForm, couldn't be more different. It is an excellent example of how safe password managers should be. Over 20 years in the game and nothing but a squeaky clean track record. Although I'm not surprised considering its strong security practices. This alone gives it a chair at my A table, but that isn't the only reason. It's also dirt cheap, and that shows a little in its functionality. Don't get me wrong, it's simple yet effective. With it you can manage, store, generate, and autofill passwords. I even found its form filling capabilities are unmatched. However, you won't find a VPN or advanced features here, but you don't have to. It works excellently as a password manager first option. The only reason it isn't higher on my list is because of 2 minor inconveniences. Its UI looks a bit dated, and sometimes you're redirected to the browser extension. And remember, RoboForm's price can get even lower if you use my discount links below. What about another D tier provider? Now, Norton Password Manager might seem unexpected, but considering I am seeing its popularity rise, I thought it was about time I gave you the 411. It has unlimited storage, works well as a simple add-on if you're already using Norton's ecosystem, and its architecture is even zero knowledge with end-to-end encryption. But ultimately, it's in the D tier because it lacks key features. Like you can't even securely share passwords, store passkeys, or get notified of data breaches. Its functionality is basic to say the least. Next, Proton Pass. Alright, the main reason this is on my list is that it's one of the most private choices available. Not only is it open source, but it's operated by a non-profit organization, both rare in the password manager industry. Take into account its strong security measures, and this is a really rock-solid option. It also had stable momentum in recent years, adding Pass Monitor back in 2024, which watches for data breaches, and Emergency Access in 2025 for account recovery. That makes it a well-rounded tool, and if you're already using the Proton ecosystem, it's a decent choice. Although I've got to knock off one point and put it in the A tier, simply because it's still quite new. It was released only a few years ago and has to prove itself against the test of time and notorious hackers. You also can't import passwords on mobile. However, it's still worthwhile, and you won't find a more transparent password manager company. And this brings us to our last S tier provider, 1Password. Now, 1Password has a few unique things, like its secret key. This adds an additional layer of authentication to the login process, making it safer and harder for accounts to be hacked on new devices. There is also Travel Mode, a one-of-a-kind feature you can use to hide particular vaults while traveling across borders. And there are also privacy cards for safer online shopping. Plus, its family plan is one of the best implementations of admin controls and vault customization that I've seen. Overall, it's excellent for users of all ages with a minimal learning curve. Not only that, but you can access it on your Apple Watch, making it a best password manager for Mac and Apple users in general. Sure, it isn't perfect. I found autofill could be a little inconsistent on the desktop app, especially when filling in forms. And even automatic login didn't always work as it should. But considering the tremendous value and straightforward functionality, it's staying in the S tier. Alright, whether you're looking for the best password manager for iOS, Android, or PC, anything from the S tier has unmatched benefits and minimal compromises. Each guarantees your data is safe, the apps are straightforward, and subscription costs are justifiable. If you have something specific you're looking for, any A tier provider is a strong alternative, with small trade-offs that might be insignificant to some of you. While B tier password managers are safe and usable, in comparison, they lack crucial features or overall polish, and the D to F tiers have drawbacks that significantly outweigh any benefits. I hope this best password manager tier list has helped. You can tap the deal on screen for a substantial discount, or if you want to see if any of your passwords have been leaked already, you can use our free tool. No strings attached. Thanks, and see you soon.